Hey, what's up everyone? This is Dream from Dream's Guides, and today I'm bringing you all the skulls on Halo 2. Now, most of the skulls you're going to need to be on Legendary difficulty to obtain, and this first one on the Armory, you're going to want to wait until Johnson says, "Would it help if I said please?" And then you can get onto the elevator. It's very important that you follow this, and don't get onto that elevator until he said that. And that takes about 2 to 3 minutes. I also have the Scarab, Envy, Sputnik, and Boom Skull on. The reason I have those on is just to make it easier, because it does have to be done on Legendary, but you can save and quit as soon as you get the skull. It still counts towards the final achievement, which is obtaining all of the skulls from Halo 2. You'll get an achievement for each skull that you'll find along the way. This is one of the more tedious and kind of boring ones, because you have to sit here for like 3 to 5 minutes and wait for him to say it.
Would it help if I said please?
Now that he said it, we're gonna board. We're gonna go up the elevator. This takes a little moment too. This one's a lot of waiting. The other ones, most of them are, you know, a quarter into the level. 1 or 2, I think, are at the start of the level, which is nice. And then there's one achievement, one skull, the "I would have been your daddy" one, which really sucks. So right where I'm trying to circle right now off in the distance, that's our skull. So we're gonna try to point ourselves out the right hand window and just hold down whatever your pickup button is. So like whatever your pickup weapon button is, hold that down while you think you're in line with the skull. If you miss it, then just reload last checkpoint and give it another shot.
Coordinated fire from the Athens and the Malta. Nothing's getting past this battle cluster in one piece.
For the next skull, we're on CAIRO Station, and this is the Thunderstorm skull. So after you return to the Armory, you're gonna enter out into this hallway. This is gonna be the second time you see a hallway that looks identical to this. So once you've killed all the enemies into the room, our objective is to get up above the Armory. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly get rid of these enemies for you. Well, for myself. I can't get rid of your enemies.
Fire team to habitat Delta.
Alright, so now we're going to want to jump up onto the barricade and then all the way up top here. We're going to use this beam to jump onto these beams to then go over to this garbage. Now you don't need to move the garbage, you can just hold X and you'll pick up the skull. I just moved the garbage so that you can see that the skull is definitely there. So this is Outskirts, and we're going to have 2 skulls on this one. Our first one is Blind. That's going to be right at the start. So when we enter this hallway, we're going to jump onto this light fixture, jump crouch up to here, turn left, and just down this hallway here is the skull. And that's going to be the first one, Blind. Once you pick it up, you're going to just want to restart the level, because we're going to go through this whole like checkpoint system for the next one that we're going to talk about in a second here. The skull is quite a nuisance. You'll need to get 7 to 8 checkpoints. I got 8 checkpoints. Your first one, you're going to jump on this light fixture and then jump crouch up to here. That's checkpoint number 1. Now this achievement isn't just about getting the checkpoints and making it to the end. Yeah, it's RNG based from what I can tell for the most part and from what I've read. However, you know, there could be more factors into it that we don't know about. So I'm just bringing this video for you to recreate what I do. Here's going to be checkpoint 2. We're going to take out these 3 jackals down below and then take a shot over here, which is going to take out the snipers behind. Now I'm using the Scarab, Skull, Envy, and Boom. The reason I use all of those is just for increased blast radius from the Scarab gun, allowing me to make sure that enemies are dead more easily. I'm very cautious about not killing Marines as well for this. We're going to get checkpoint 3 as soon as Johnson jumps in the plane and takes off, so there's checkpoint 3. And jump down onto this bridge, and we're going to do a grenade jump right here to get up higher. Then you're going to come to this edge, and as soon as you crouch, the jackal with a sniper rifle should spawn. Take him out and run backward into these vents. That should give you checkpoint number 4. Now careful on these edges, they're very slippy. If you come at them with full momentum, you'll go flying off and with no control. Now we're going to want to bump Chief into this, I have no idea what this thing is, but bump him right into that. It's going to give you checkpoint number 5. Coming up on another edge that you can easily slip off of. I recommend trying to do this without reloading checkpoints. That's what I did, so, you know, just recreating is your best bet. Then you know that, you know, you're just having shit luck if you're not getting the achievement, but you're still making all the steps correctly. Once we kill all these guys, we're going to just walk over to this edge. I'm going to do a couple zoomies on the hotel, turn around, walk up here. I usually get the checkpoint right up this corner here. It doesn't spawn for me right away, so just, you know, come back, crouch on this a couple more times. It's important that, well, I have no idea if it's important, but these are the steps that I took to get it, so, you know, it's important to recreate what I did so that you can hopefully get your achievement, get your skull. This checkpoint gives me a little bit of issues, but we want to make sure that we get it before we move on. There it is. Now next, there's going to be a sniper that spawns right where I was zooming in. Jump over, zoom in, I cloak, shoot that sniper, take him out. Jump over to here. There's going to be a few enemies down below that we're going to want to take out, a sword guy and a sniper. So, but there are a couple marines down here, so you want to be careful of them, watch your radar. If you can't safely take out the elite, just let them kill the marines, as long as you're not the one killing them. Jump back. I'm very careful not to touch the area where the skull is. I also cloak here because that sniper has gotten me a couple times. He's in the bridge here. And then there's another one right there. Sometimes that shot doesn't get him though, so don't rely on the fact that he's dead. Stop here, cloak, jump across, make sure he's dead. Everything's okay. Then we move to the end. Here we're going to be killing about 3 elites. They're cloaked, one with a sword, a couple with plasma rifles. And that's checkpoint number 7. Once you feel pretty satisfied that they're all dead, we're just going to turn around. Now we're going to head to the skull location, but we're going to be careful and make sure everything's dead along the way. Because you got to do this on legendary, so one sniper shot could end it for you. Now we're going to jump across, we're going to come down here, and we're kind of just going to sneak around the side here, got that checkpoint, and jump down. Sometimes if you don't get the checkpoint right there, you can kind of get it on the canopy, and that gets you the skull, the achievement. You'll spawn down here, most likely get yourself killed like I did, because you've got boom and the scarab gun on and an elite shows up out of nowhere and you're on. So our next skull is Catch on Metropolis. So this is after the tunnel where there's a whole bunch of snipers in this domed area. You'll also see like the warthog driving around. It doesn't have a, I don't think it has a gunner, it's just a driver, which is, you know, bizarre. So once you've cleared out all the enemies, especially the snipers, because you're going to be on legendary difficulty and they're going to give you some trouble. A couple spawn behind you too from the cave that you came out, so you'll see me here. I saw him kind of back there, so I just took him out so that I didn't have to, you know, redo this, because one snipe and you're dead. I highly suggest having Sputnik on if you're, you know, not great with grenade jumps. It's a wacky spot that you need to place the grenade. For one, like it likes to bounce up like it did just there, and then 2, you know, you got to get up there quite a bit. I got a lucky one there. I didn't have a Sputnik on for this one. I decided to turn Sputnik on later. So once you walk all the way up to this, you'll reach a glass platform. Then you're going to take a left and follow this all the way to the end, and you'll get your catch skull. So your next skull is going to be on the Arbiter, and this is the GRUNT birthday party skull. So we want to make it down to one of those circles that I was kind of looking at with the Banshee. So this is going to take a little bit of time because it's about, I don't know, quarter way into the mission. So we're going to fly down to these circle things. I believe it's the second one, although I kind of forgot while I was recording this which one it was, so I had to kind of have a little peek at the first one. So then we're going to fly to the other side of the second one. You're going to find a bunch of grunts kind of dancing around a skull. They won't attack you, so don't worry about that. Just hop out, grab the skull, and if you're feeling like it afterward, you can go ahead and beat them all with it. So next up, we're on the mission The Oracle, and this is the Famine skull. This is a pretty recognizable room. This is where you gotta break the glass to get down below to heretics fighting Flood. We don't go for that one, we go for this one here. And if you go down there and to the left, there's also a terminal that you can grab. But here we find the seizing Flood, and we've got a skull right in the center of them. And you will need to crouch jump to get up here. Our next skull is on Delta Halo, and this is Envy. So once you get to the temple area, after going through some dark tunnels, fighting a whole lot of ghosts, pretty recognizable area, you're going to want to come up to the left here. There will be 2 turrets and some grunts that spawn. You're going to jump onto this block. There's a little lip, jump up onto that. You can phase right through the tree, and we're going to want to grenade jump up to there. Now you don't need Sputnik. I do have it on now. We're going to find some couple dancing invisible elites. Go ahead, pick up the skull, get the achievement, punch them if you like, and we're on to the next. So now we're on to the mission Regret, and this is the assassin skull. So this is after the gondola ride. We're going to want to jump up onto this block and then make it onto the second floor, and then hang a left outside the door and kind of follow this path around until we reach the skull. All the jumps can be made with just a simple crouch jump. So we're just going to come, just keep following the path forward, take a left, crouch jump up here, another left, and down here we'll see 2 dancing invisible sword elites. Pick up the skull, and on to the next one. So now we're on to Sacred Icon and the Mythic Skull. So we're going to enter a room like this, and this is going to be the second time we enter this kind of room that has that green energy thing going on. And we're going to want to jump up onto this box here and grenade jump up to the second level. Again, much easier if you have Sputnik on, but not necessary. A couple enemies will spawn up here too, so just be kind of on guard. And then at the third corner, we're going to turn right, grab the skull, and as you can see, more enemies jumped up here. So this is the quarantine zone level, and then Sputnik skull right at the start, just 180 and head through the tunnel to go backward kind of into the ending of the previous level. And we're going to want to just keep heading straight and see the platform that kind of runs along the cliffside there. We're going to just follow that to the end, and at the very end we'll get our skull. So this one's on Gravemind, and we're going to want to clear out the area here. This is the first time you kind of enter outside, so then you just want to clear out the area, head all the way around, and then jump up onto that rock. And then we're going to head all the way up top this kind of tall cliff, and then follow the wall all the way around. And at the end, there's going to be a grunt that spawns. That's why I took the shot there. He spawns with a fuel rod cannon, so you're definitely going to want to take him out. And we're going to get actually 2 achievements here. One is for finding the Cortana toy, so you don't have to pick that up, you just run over it and it'll automatically grab it. And then our skull is actually right beside it, so we just gotta jump up to this ledge. Probably didn't need to grenade jump, not sure why I did. Jump crouch is probably more than enough there. Next skull is going to be on Uprising, and it's the Ghost Skull. This comes after the waterfall. We're going to want to head inside and go past the first corridor, and then go past the armory to get to the second corridor. And as soon as we enter the room, turn around and you can kind of see the skull up there. You're going to want to do a grenade jump up there. I botched the first one, but I get the second one. Also, to get up there, you very well might need Sputnik. I don't see this one as possible to get up without it, but you might be able to if you, I don't know, move some objects out of the armory maybe. So now we're onto the Iron Skull, and this is High Charity. So after going through the giant door with kind of like a pink center seam, you're going to enter a circular room with a energy sword. We're going to want to go into the grav lift that's on the right hand side, and this whole time you're going up the grav lift, hold your pickup button. It's another one of those ones where you just got to kind of aim in the right direction of where the skull's going to be, and hold X to, or whatever your pickup button is, to grab it. If you miss it, just make sure that you reload your last checkpoint before you make it to the top of the lift. Alright, now we're on to the final skull. This is the Great Journey, and we're getting the Black Eye Skull. Once we get Johnson into the Scarab, we're going to grab a Banshee, and we're just going to basically fly as fast as we can past everything. If you keep low, you should avoid most damage and keep close to the wall on the left hand side. And we're just going to try to get past everything really quickly and make it to the end objective without Johnson with us. And then we're going to fly up on the left hand side of the tower thing. Once we get closer, we're going to hit a wall, and I suggest kind of slowing down, which is not what I did here, and almost paid the price for it. I almost completely slipped off, but if you come at it at a lower speed, that shouldn't be an issue. And then we're just going to kind of follow this outside the map, and then we're going to climb up a really steep tower. So once we're past that, we're just going to keep heading up the rocks. And that's what we're going to be trying to climb up. You're going to have to give yourself a little bit of an initial jump. And also you'll notice on the new graphics, the geometry is kind of out of place of what it used to be. So you'll be floating a few times, as you can see here. Once you reach the first plateau, you'll be able to get the skull. And with this one, that is all of the skulls. If this video helped you out in any way, please consider giving us a subscribe. It really helps out. We're kind of in the lower stages right now, so not monetized yet. Every subscription really gets us one step closer to that. Thanks for watching. See you in the next guide.